So I'm hearing no discussion or concerns about the April 21st minutes. With that said, do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the April 21st minutes. All those indicating yes, say so.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? I hear none, therefore the minutes have been approved. Today we have several members of our citizens of Davenport here, and I will ask, do we have those who are present wishing to make comments today? Who would like to start? We have three. And as you come up to the podium, which is right in front here, will you state your name and if you know so, the ward that you represent or where you live. So, welcome. You have 5 minutes for your comments to be made, and at that time we'll move on to others. So welcome, sir.
Thank you, Council. My name is Cal Johnson. I'm from Ward 3. I'm here today to discuss the dog parks. I'd like to discuss all of them, but in general, I'm going to talk about the one that is on the Centennial Park on Marquette. We would like to, we talk about the beautification along the river, and we would like to include that dog park down there and join that in. We get a lot of people. You'd be surprised how many people come into Davenport and use that dog park. And we would like to include some beautification with that dog park on the riverbank. Right now, it's a little bit in the rough. It looks pretty rough. It's great for the people in Davenport, but it's in pretty rough shape right now. One of the things that we're looking at right now, we have some fencing on the back side. You have a city building over there. There's some fencing that I believe it got hit by a city truck when it was plowing this winter. It tore off the fence. At the time, we didn't notice it down there as citizens, and dogs were escaping through the fencing. One of the dog owners actually zip tied the fencing to the fencing. I believe the city came and did the exact same thing. They zip tied it, and then I believe the city came over and threw some dirt down. If the dogs really wanted to, they could dig through the dirt and get back down and get under this fencing. I believe the fencing needs to be fixed and not zip tied. It will be an issue. The citizens are doing a lot more than I believe the city really knows. I know myself and another dog owner, the front inside gate came loose. It was like that for 2 days. Me and him fixed that front gate. Not everybody carries toolboxes with them. I did, and I fixed it. I can't believe that when the Park and Recreation Board comes down there, when they empty trash, I can't believe they didn't see that and didn't fix it. But the citizens did fix that on their own. The water dispensers down there for the dogs to drink out of are clogged at the moment. This is not, it's a safety issue for the dogs. They need to be fixed. They've been clogged since the water has been turned back on. We don't want our dogs getting sick. We already have issues down there with the dog waste not being picked up properly. Again, as dog owners, we do pick up after each other down there. We do the best we can. We had an issue again this fall and winter with an issue with Guardia down there. We asked the city to help us out with that as much as they can. I know for a fact that there were several dog owners that went down there with buckets and picked up dog waste. So we are doing what we can. We ask that the city help us out as much as they can. This is off in the distance, but I want to put it on note right now. Snow removal is terrible at the dog parks, and it's for both of them. It's not only for this one, but the one up on North Marquette. I know for a fact a gentleman fell on North Marquette. I was there that day. He did suffer injuries. He did not report it to the city. The sidewalks do not get cleaned off in the winter. They stay like that all winter long. The city, if I do not clean off my sidewalk, the city will come and clean it off and will charge me. I believe the city needs to do their part to make sure these dog parks get used year round. And these sidewalks need to be cleaned off. And we have people that come in there with canes, walkers, and trust me, I'm gonna be on top of it this winter. I'm 64 years old. I may not look like it, but I'm 64 years old. I don't want to slip and fall. And I feel it's the city's responsibility. All that concrete that's in these dog parks needs to be cleaned off. If I slip and fall, I'm gonna let you know about it. The other thing is, I would like the city, I don't know how you could do this. Is there any way you could look into some type of planning to get some type of watering system down there for the grass? I know you do it for like the flowers and stuff. So when we reseed, you guys are spending a lot of money in sod and seeding down there, but it's not always taking. If we could get some type of watering system down there that would help, especially in the drought times, you know, where you guys could save some money. You guys, 2 years ago, you put sod down there. It looked beautiful, but you didn't water it, and it died. But it looked beautiful down there. It was the best that park looked in a long, long time. If you could come up with some type of watering system down there, even if you're bringing in with a tractor and a small tank of water, so in the drought and when we put down some seed, I know you guys put tons of seed down there this year and it's not taken. You know, if we could get more straw.
Sir, you've made some very good remarks, and I appreciate those comments, and my little alarm isn't loud, but it just
All
went
right,
off. So thank you for
I appreciate your time.
your
Thank you.
response.
Yep.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Kathy Strupp. I'm Fifth Ward, but we use the Third Ward Dog Park as well. I'm kind of speaking on behalf of a few different people here. Like Cal said, we kind of want to feel like we're included in your riverfront activities and enhancements. We kind of feel like an afterthought at this point. And even some of the park planning that's being done. I went through the event thing. We're left out. We're nobodies. We don't have kids. We have dogs. That's the park we use, so there's not a lot down there. Kind of missing an opportunity with visitors by not doing some enhancement in that park. One thing in particular is we could really use a small dog area down there, especially for travelers. Some people, the little old ladies with their little Shih Tzus, don't want to bring them in with the big dogs, and I don't blame them because we've had, quite a few safety incidents. I've had a puppy at the vet. We had a member of our community actually have to kill 2 dogs down there a few months ago that attacked his dog. I don't know if you guys even know about that, but yeah, that was kind of scary. Cal mentioned a lot about, with the sod and kind of basic upkeep. It looked great. It wasn't watered. Then you blocked off half the park. So we lost half, well, I don't know if it was quite half, but we lost a lot of the park. So the rest of the park got tore up in the meantime because we lost a lot of area when they took it out. I also agree with him. I mean, fountains was on my list. I had puppies that had Giardia from, when people don't pick up, you get parasites, you get Giardia, and all the dogs pass it around to each other, so more vet visits. We'd like to see a little more maintenance down there when the Parks Department comes down. I mean, they empty the trash. They don't always refill the bags. A lot of times we have to put requests in to get bags filled and trash emptied down there. We could really use probably another couple bins and waste stations in the middle part of the park because people a lot of times don't grab them when they come in unless they're like a lot of us that are regulars. That's where we walk right when we go in and clean up after our animals. There's a lot of dead trees, not a lot, there's a few dead trees. They've been dead. I asked Public Works last year about removing them. Nothing got done. So there's dead trees that need to be removed down there. We probably have too many picnic tables and benches. And when they do mow, they're not moving them or trimming around them. So we get a lot of long grass around those. Maybe some additional signage in the park reminding people that it's a responsibility to clean up after their pets. I mean, we do our part. We pick up extra over the winter was a huge problem. Every time I went down, literally I was cleaning. I had 15 bags and I didn't even make a dent in what was down there, cleaning up after other people's dogs. And the pathways, as Cal said, is an issue too, because this park is not a summer park. We use this park up to 20 below. I can tell you how many times we've been down there. The gravel, he didn't mention that. I don't know why they put that in. It's everywhere. It goes everywhere. It serves, I mean, it might help with drainage, but those dogs are kicking it everywhere. So they have to usually go in every day and blow it off the sidewalk. So just let you know, that's kind of an issue. We could use maybe a few more shade trees in there. You got some oaks in there dropping acorns, so those are fun to eat for dogs. I don't know if it's the best option for a dog park. The ramp is kind of on its last legs down there, which could be looked at. We'd really, I don't know if it's something forestry would consider, maybe do a couple windbreaks down there for the winter, because it gets cold down there, and it'd be nice to have somewhere to stand where you're not getting as beat up. I don't know if that's a possibility. Maybe a water feature. I mean, I'm just throwing things out here for our wish list that we had, you know, maybe some other obstacles for the park for the dogs to play with, or sand pit, that kind of thing. Let me see if I missed what I missed. I had all kinds. I think I had a lot. Cal got a lot of stuff that I had on there. We're kind of wondering too, what's Nestle Purina's involvement in that park? We noticed there was a sign on there. Do they sponsor it? Did they help build it? We are just kind of wondering, because it'd be kind of nice to get some other community members or sponsors. I mean, if we need to do things, and we'd like to know what we can do to help. I mean, we do as much as we can, but you know, we also depend on the city to do their part to upkeep the park as well. I mean, we can't use North Marquette that well. It wasn't well planned out. I've got 3 big dogs and they drag you to the gate. Literally, I've watched people slide down the hill with their dogs dragging. It's the access to that park is horrible. And the small dog portion is bigger than the big dog portion. And the fountain is on the outside of the thing, and there's one. So those are our issues with the North Park. It's a nice park, but it's hard to get into when you have big dogs.
I'm glad that you added additional dog parks. We'll keep that in advisement too, but your 5 minutes are up.
All right.
Thank you for your remark, Kathy.
Thank you.
Goes fast.
I'm Roger Rich. I live at 2209 West 58th Street. I don't remember the ward number. I've been using this dog park since about 2016, so I'm not new to it. I've seen a lot of transformations, getting bigger, smaller, berms taken down. Then they took out the concrete and turned it into a pond area. And then every year they fixed it. This year, like they said, they closed it off and the middle section, so the dogs tore up all the other ones. Well, they moved it over to another section, and there's a few weeds growing in there, but they don't water. So we got another section closed off that's not watered, it's not maintained. It's just dirt in there and weeds growing out. That's one area. Trees is another area. I've seen in the years I've been here, many trees die. There's about 2 down there now. What they do is just take them out. There used to be a tree by each bench. That's gone. For some reason, they don't want to put trees in. I put in a request because they are wanting trees on Central Park. So you can put in requests for that, but we can't do anything with the dog park. Basically, yes, I've done a lot of maintenance myself on that park. The gates, I've done it for years, you know, because they've changed the gate latch probably about 8, 9 times, and they got a better one now. There's not much thought into the dog parks, even the North Dog Park, because I've seen that start off small. There wasn't a step, you had to walk down a grassy hill. It's a horrible place to park because people go about 45, 50 right by it. Then you have to walk down. And whenever they sometimes have this park downtown locked up, they don't tell anybody. I call up there and the person who answers for the park, they have no idea. A lot of the park department people don't even go down there. They don't even see it. And as for water, there is water. There's 2 fire hydrants. One of the fire hydrants is used constantly by the city crews to fill up their street sweepers and equipment. So to saying there's no water, now there is. And the park does not flood. The water does not get that high. You may not have access to whole Centennial Park, but it does not flood. Just wanted to bring that up in a thing. But we really need trees. In conclusion, that's about it. It's kind of depressing to go down there and seeing how depressing that park is. I mean, they're getting rid of the homeless people by cleaning out the area behind the Veterans Memorial. Okay, they got cleaned out. They'll spend money on that, but they won't spend a dime on this park. They put in gravel instead of the astroturf they promised. And then from understand, they gave a lot of money to Bettendorf that was supposed to be used on that. Yeah, that stuff's all on the internet. But that's, I don't know. They need, people from the park would need to come down there and look at it and realize what they're, people, when you call them, they need to know, oh, we got a dog park. They don't seem to know. We're adding parks every year to make it beautiful, but we do not maintain that park. That's all I got, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We have another wish comments? Please come forward. Sure.
Thank you.
Taking lots of notes.
Hi. My name is Stephanie Rittmer, and I use Ward 3 Dog Park, and I believe this is terrible, because every time I go to vote, I have to call up to find out which ward I'm in. But, so we use a Ward 3. We go down to South Marquette by the boat ramp, that dog park. We also go up to North Marquette when we can't access the boat ramp dog park. It's Centennial. There are a lot of out-of-towners, and what everybody has said so far is how we all feel. And there's a couple of points that I'd like to bring up. Now, here it's going to be warm weather season. Our dogs get overheated, and we'll try and cool them down as best we can. But you already have acquainted yourself with a splash park. Is there a possibility to add a couple of stations for the dogs, and kids come down there also? There's a lot of families and stuff, and they come to enjoy it. So some kind of cooling station for the dogs, a splash park. I know when I've been out of town and gone to other dog parks, ours are okay. North Marquette is kind of because you got the watering station on the outside. The small dog park is bigger than the large dog park area, and so it is not so great. But when you go out of town and you see these other dog parks, you go, wow, these are cool. And you come to ours and go, okay, yeah, we got a place to run. Yay, they put the water on the inside. Yay, the dogs can drink it. It plugged up, that becomes an issue sometimes. And the bacteria that can form with the stagnant water and this and that. And another thought that I had, the maintenance of a pond or a splash park, there's going to be something involved with that. But it would be great if we had another attraction or highlight in the dog park where the families could come and the kids could play, the kids could cool off instead of running across the street into the traffic and going up the hill to the splash park there. There is one dog park that in Florida It was rectangular. In the middle, there was an oval pond. There was a really cool track on the outside of it. And they had 2 tennis ball stations and tennis balls, all the tennis balls the dogs could have, plus they were in the pond. But it was great because people were doing their laps, and it was, the path that they had made was out of recycled tires. And it was nice and spongy and level. And the dogs would come, and the dogs had a place to cool off. They had a fountain in the middle because of the stagnant water, Florida mosquitoes. So that was, but it was great for the dogs, and I went down and cooled myself off too. So if we could have a kind of a cooling station or something like that, it would, I think it would add a lot to the beautification, the attraction, the family outlook, getting rid of those 2 dead trees in there. One of them, my husband, was putting his foot on and pressing on it, and it is moving. So it is ready to come out. The fence repair that they did with the zip ties, that definitely kind of looks, kind of hokey. Watering system would be great. I know there's technology out there where you can draw the water out of the air from the humidity and using solar technology and that kind of thing. But there is a well, there is some kind of fire hydrant well that's within that dog park area for access to water. And plus there's that fire hydrant that's right on the street side towards the boat ramp. There's a fire hydrant that the fog trucks use, the Fight Oil and Grease or something like that, where they come in whatever they do, and there's a drainage there, but there's another fire hydrant there also. So yeah, it would add to our park. I think it would make it a really better than adequate, better than okay. It would be a nice place. People come into our city and see this. You're coming over that bridge, you see the German-American heritage. Oh, that's a cool building. And you see all the stuff over here, over on Gaines II. Oh, that looks pretty. And then so continue on. If you come into our dog park, hey, maybe it'll be a wow for that too. That's my hopes anyways. I like Davenport. I moved here. I want to continue living here. But there, just a couple of things that it would be nice to add to beautification, blah, blah, blah. Palmer students that come, people out of town, all that jazz. But thank you very much for your time.
We thank you. And you know what? Exactly 5. How's that? Did she get a prize? Well, there has been a lot of good thoughts and ideas and concerns that have been expressed. We thank you for taking that time. And we have all heard it. And I think I explained earlier that the board has listened, and we do have advisory time. Not today, though, but we have your information, and it has been videotaped, so thank you. We'll move forward, hopefully, in a way that pleases everyone. Thank you. We have coming up, we're going to, because of our work yet this afternoon, which is off-site, I want to remind everybody that we do have our reports, all our staff reports and the director's report are in our packets. So we're going to take that with us, and we will need to move on. We're not rushing because you're here, but we have a very steady agenda here. I don't want to say bye. Anyhow, thank you for coming, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn so we can move on with the remainder of our meeting this afternoon, I guess. Is there a motion to adjourn?
A motion?
Second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting so we can proceed with our tour of parks that we are going to do, and the staff reports will be something we can do as well. So Those saying aye, let's adjourn, say yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think I'll hear no, but I'll ask. No? We're adjourned. Thank you.